What's going on, everybody? It's December 13th, 2024, and we've got breaking news today. It looks like in the past 48 hours or so, the United States and Russia have been flexing their muscles with each other, talking a lot of smack about Russia saying that their missiles are unstoppable, that the United States can't stop their missiles, and the United States is retaliating, saying that they definitely can stop their missiles. And we have some reports out of ABC News today that the U.S. warns Russia may be ready to use new lethal missile against Ukraine. In other reports, Newsweek says Russia Navy touts upgraded nuclear force, warns of NATO offensive drills. And then over here at the U.S. Department of Defense, Missile Defense Agency conducts successful missile intercept from Guam. So you can see that there's a little back and forth going on here. Russia's saying one thing, the United States is saying another thing, and looks like it's escalating. We got the two biggest superpowers in the world who are arguing, who are trying to flex and so show that they are more powerful than the other, to, I guess, make sure that their people are, confident that their governments are going to protect them in the event of any further escalation. But it's getting pretty dicey out there, guys, and it's something that we need to look into. So let's check out what ABC News has to say. U.S. warns Russia may be ready to use new lethal missile against Ukraine. Russia could launch its lethal new intermediate-range ballistic missile against Ukraine again soon, the Pentagon said Wednesday, as both sides wrestle for a battlefield advantage that will give them leverage in any negotiations to end the nearly 3-year war. Sabrina Singh, Pentagon spokeswoman, told reporters in a briefing that an attack could be carried out in the coming days. She added that the U.S. does not consider this missile, called the Orshnik, a game changer on the battlefield, but that the Russians are trying to use every weapon that they have in their arsenal to intimidate Ukraine. So Russia is saying that this Orshnik missile, this interballistic missile, is ICBM, is unstoppable, and the United States is saying that it's not unstoppable. We can stop this thing easily. She says that the U.S. is basing its warning on a new intelligence assessment, but she couldn't provide any other details, including where Russia may strike. U.S. officials said earlier Wednesday that the U.S. was seeing the Russians make preparations for another launch of the missile, which was used for the first time last month. The officials spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive information. The threat comes as President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to end the war, and Western allies suggest that negotiations to do so could begin this winter. Singh said the U.S. will continue to support Ukraine, including with additional air defense systems designed to protect our country against air assaults. Just days ago, the U.S. promised close to $1 billion in new security aid to Ukraine, including munitions for air defense. I really don't understand this. Just a few weeks ago, there were talks of negotiations that Ukraine was ready to back down, knowing that Trump was coming in. They're ready to succeed some land. So I don't know what has changed here in the past couple of weeks, but it seems like we just keep feeding them money to continue this war. They're trying to set up the incoming president for a tough presidency. And it just doesn't make any sense. They're not doing anything for the people of this country. They're doing this for themselves. Whoever is behind the scenes right now, which I don't believe is Biden, I don't believe it's Kamala Harris. We haven't seen them in forever now, since the election. So that's been, 3 weeks or so. Let's see. The Russian Defense Ministry also suggested that Moscow is prepared to retaliate because Ukraine used 6 U.S.-made ATACMS missiles to strike a military airbase in Taganrog in the southern Rostov region on Wednesday, injuring soldiers. It said 2 of the missiles were shot down by an air defense system and 4 others deflected by electronic warfare assets. Excuse me if I don't say the acronym correctly. ATAGMS. There we go, ATAGMS. This attack with Western long-range weapons will not be left unanswered and relevant measures will be taken, the ministry said in a statement. This isn't the first time that the U.S. officials have warned of potential Russian action or strategic moves. In part, it's a diplomatic effort to message Moscow and possibly sway decisions. In the run-up to Russia's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. openly discussed intelligence that Russia was readying troops to move on Kyiv, and later publicly said Moscow was positioning operatives in eastern Ukraine to conduct a false flag operation that would create a pretext for its troops to invade. According to U.S. officials, Russia has only a handful of the Orshnik missiles. They carry a smaller warhead than other missiles that Russia has regularly launched at Ukraine. Russia first fired the missile in a November 21st attack against the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. Surveillance camera video of the strike showed huge fireballs piercing the darkness and slamming into the ground at astonishing speed. It was the first time the weapon was used in combat. Excuse me, everybody, for my lack of pronunciation on some of these cities and some of these words. That was Kiev. I don't know why I couldn't get it out earlier. So let's just move on. Sorry about that. Let's see. Within hours of the attack on the military facility, Russian President Vladimir Putin took the rare step of speaking on national TV to boast about the new hypersonic missile. He warned the West that its next use could be against Ukraine's NATO allies who allowed Kyiv to use their longer-range missiles to strike inside Russia. The attack came 2 days after Putin signed a revised version of Russia's nuclear doctrine that lowered the threshold for using nuclear weapons. The doctrine allows for a potential nuclear response by Moscow, even to conventional attacks on Russia by any nation that is supported by a nuclear power. I remember this happened a few weeks ago. So, yeah, I thought that all was occurring about the potential seceding some land, Zelensky potentially seceding some land and to Russia, and Russian, Putin was going to end the war. But I guess that's off the table now. Let's see. That strike also came soon after President Joe Biden agreed to loosen restrictions on Ukraine's use of American-made longer-range weapons to strike deeper into Russian territory, and just one day after the U.S. said it was giving Ukraine anti-personnel mines to help it slow Russian battlefield advances. We believe that we have the right to use our weapons against the military facilities of the countries that allow to use their weapons against our facilities, Putin said at the time. There's a lot of flexing going back and forth, It's getting crazy. Let's see. Intermediate range missiles can fly between 500 and 5,500 kilometers. Such weapons were banned under a Soviet-era treaty that Washington and Moscow abandoned in 2019. Fighting has escalated in the grinding war as both Russia and Ukraine scramble to get an upper hand in any coming negotiations. Trump's inauguration next month has also raised questions about how much support the U.S. will continue to provide to Ukraine. Let's see. Trump has insisted in recent days that Russia and Ukraine immediately reach a ceasefire and said that Ukraine should likely prepare to receive less U.S. military aid. Writing on social media last week, Trump said Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky would like to make a deal and stop the madness. The Biden administration, meanwhile, announces $988 million long-term aid package last weekend that funded is on top of an additional $725 million in the U.S. military assistance, including counter-drone systems, HIMARS munitions announced earlier last week that would be drawn from the Pentagon stockpiles to get them to the front lines more quickly. The U.S. has provided Ukraine with more than $62 billion in military aid since Russian invasion in February 2022. $62 billion, people. That's how much money we have sent over to the Ukraine. Just think what that money could do here in our own country. $62 billion could fix our infrastructure, could help the homeless people, um, can upgrade our military. This is insane. The money that we spend around the world to fight wars that really don't have anything to do with us is just insane. Newsweek, December 12th, 2024. Newsweek, Russian Navy touts upgraded nuclear force, warns of NATO offensive drills. Let's see what they have to say here. Another prominent figure in the Russian military-industrial complex has been found dead in Moscow after reporting assassination, according to reports from Russian and Ukrainian news outlets. Mikhail Shatsky, the deputy chief designer at the Mars Design Bureau, for the Russian military and space industry, was reportedly shot dead near a Moscow park by an assassin. You'll have to forgive me. It's kind of late and a little tired, so getting some of these words out is a little troubling for me tonight. So let's wait for this to stop loading real quick. Let's just go ahead and mute that, so if it does load, we won't hear it. Let's close that. All right. The Russian Navy's commander-in-chief, Admiral Alexander Moiseev, said the country's naval nuclear forces have been completely upgraded, according to the Russian state news agency TASS. TASS reported Thursday that Moiseev made the announcement at the 14th International Forum Arctic Today and the Future, held in St. Petersburg, Russia. The forum, which runs through Friday, includes several working sessions, panels, and roundtables covering topics pertaining to the country's Arctic agenda, such as telecommunications, environmental issues, indigenous communities, investment, technology, fisheries, and naval capabilities. According to the forum's website, approximately 2,000 people attended. At the first plenary session of the forum Thursday morning, Moiseev participated alongside other top Russian leaders. During the session, the admiral said, Russia's strategic naval nuclear forces have been completely upgraded. This remains a critical priority for our country. Nuclear forces have been and will continue to serve as a security guarantee for our nation at the international level, as reported by TASS. And you can see a picture of Zelensky, Andriy Belousov, and let's see, and there is the admiral right there that we're talking about. It says, Newsweek has reached out to the Russian Navy for comment via email on Thursday. It is difficult to pinpoint the exact number of global nuclear arsenals. A 2024 report by the Federation of American Scientists estimates Russia has the world's largest inventory of nuclear warheads, with 5,580 nuclear warheads. It reports that the U.S. has 5,044 and China has 500, whereas the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute says Russia and the U.S. possesses 4,380 and 3,708, respectively. The U.S. government previously revealed in September 2023 that it had 3,748 nuclear warheads at the time. Outside of the U.S., Russia, China, and North Korea, 5 other countries possess nuclear weapons: India, Pakistan, the United Kingdom, France, and Israel. Moiseev noted that the strength of the forces should enhance the sense of responsibility among all countries in the Arctic, primarily those who seek to escalate tensions in the region. Since Russian President Vladimir Putin's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the country has repeatedly levied nuclear threats. The U.S. is a close ally of Ukraine and has condemned the invasion, believing it's an attack on Ukrainian sovereignty, and has provided billions in military aid to Kiev. Hey, I got it this time, Kiev. Maybe if they spelled it that way before, I would have got it. Masiev also said that North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, organization countries have begun offensive rather than defensive exercises in the region. Thousands of NATO soldiers, primarily from the US, Sweden, United Kingdom, and France, engaged in artillery exercises in Finland's Arctic in November. Finland and Russia share an over 800-mile-long border. The country joined NATO in April 2024, a year after Russia's latest invasion of Ukraine. So I remember when that happened, so I can see how Russia is a little concerned about that. Earlier this week, Russia stationed tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus, making the first deployment of its nuclear arsenal outside Russia territory since the Cold War. Well, that's pretty troubling. The stationing of these tactical weapons in Belarus, which shares a 673-mile border with Ukraine, enables Russian aircraft and missiles to target potential sites more efficiently. It also significantly extends Russia's ability to reach several NATO allies in Eastern and Central Europe. So, yeah, guys, this is just crazy. We've got, Russia, touting their upgraded nuclear force and warning us of our NATO drills on, in the area, and it's just a further saying that they're offensive drills, not defensive drills. So it's just another verbal, intimidation tactics that both countries seem to be doing, in addition to the actual tactical military things that they're doing on the ground. And then we have the drones. We don't know what's going on with the drones, and it's getting even more crazy every day. It seems like the FBI doesn't have an answer. Homeland Security doesn't seem to have an answer. Now we're getting word that there's an Iranian mothership out there that is potentially launching all these drones out to the Jersey area and New York area, which happens. A lot of these have been seen around the Trump golf course, some military ammunition facilities, and some of the bases. So it's getting really frustrating when our government won't tell us what's going on. We know damn well that they know what's going on. There's no reason why SUV-sized drones should be out there flying around, and our government's over here telling us that they don't know what's going on. We know that you know what's going on, but you might want to, think twice about lying, because we have the internet. We get so much information, so we can tell when you're lying and when you're not lying. So this is just one of those times where they're just keeping hush about it. And I guess I can understand. They don't want, our adversaries to know what our capabilities are with these drones. So, but they're intimidating the people in this country. So something needs to be done. Let's check out what the U.S. Department of Defense has to say. Missile Defense Agency conducts successful missile intercept from Guam. The Missile Defense Agency on Tuesday conducted a live intercept of ballistic missile target from Guam, the Pentagon has announced. Partnering with U.S. Indo-Pacific Command and other Defense Department partners, MDA's Guam tests represented the first ballistic missile defense test executed from the U.S. territory. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh told the media today. During the test, the Aegis Guam system intercepted an air-launched medium-range ballistic missile targeted off the coast of Guam, Singh said. The test entailed the Aegis Guam system integrating with a specialized radar and vertical launching system. The integrated system fired a standard missile, 3-Bach 11A, which intercepted an air-launched medium-range ballistic missile targeted off the coast of Guam's Andersen Air Force Base, according to an MDA press release. The event marked a pivotal step taken in the defense of Guam and provides critical support to the overall concept for the future Guam defense system, Singh said. The test, which MDA designated as Flight Experiment Mission 02, supported the overall concept requirements, validation, data gathering, and maturation for the future Guam defense system, according to the release. This is a tremendous group effort and provides a glimpse of how organizations within the department have come together to defend our homeland. Guam now and in the future. MDA Director Air Force Lieutenant General Heath Collins is quoted in the release. Collectively, the quote continues, "We will use this to build upon and validate joint tracking architecture and integrated air and missile defense capabilities for Guam, thanks to all of those involved, especially the people and government of Guam. Today's flight test is a critical milestone in the defense of Guam and the region," Commander Joint Task Force Micronesia Navy Rear Admiral Greg Huffman is quoted in the release. It confirmed our ability to detect, track, and engage a target missile in flight, increasing our readiness to defend against evolving adversary threats. The event's success is a testament to the incredible work of the team both within the DoD and the government of Guam, he added. Originally proposed by MDA in early June, the flight test underwent an extensive environmental assessment, overseas environmental assessment, before being approved. MDA's proposed action going forward is to conduct up to 2 flight tests or tracking exercises per year over the next 10 years, according to the MDA's website. So there you have it, everybody. United States is flexing. Russia is flexing. Russia is touting their missiles, saying that they are upgraded and they're unstoppable. The United States is, saying that they have some capabilities of stopping anything that's coming their way. So we're definitely escalating. Times are getting crazier. All I can say is I hope that everybody's prepared. I hope you guys are tuning in and watching the news outside of the mainstream news, watching some of this outside news, these podcasts and a podcast like ours, and the Tim Pools and the Dan Bonginos and Crenshaw and all these people who are bringing us another the inside perspective, as well as people on the ground. So it's really important that we keep pushing this narrative of independent news, and we're going to keep bringing you the news as as it comes to us, and we can get to it. It's a lot of work to get these videos out, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you like these videos, please continue to like and share the videos and subscribe to the our channel if you haven't already done so. It really helps the algorithm out when you like the videos. If you leave a comment, that really helps out as well. It pushes our videos out there so that the rest of the community and the world can hear our perspective as well as we see it from our perspective here on the ground in the United States. So on that note, we appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, peace.